Hello, my beautiful travelers. It's me, Kirsten, and this is the It's Giving Mystical podcast. And this is your podcast for the week ahead, the week of December 12th, 12/12, 12/12. Hangman, checking in. Hangman, Hermit. What a crowd. Two hangmans and a hermit. Do you get it? Because 12th month, 12th date, hermit year. What would it be like if those three guys all got together? Three gals, 3 days all got together. Interesting. Where are we? Listen, I don't even know where I am. Where am I? I don't know where I am. The Jaguar medicine effed me up, dude, in the best way. I don't have words, which is not helpful when you're about to do a podcast. Beautiful work, deep work, powerful work, like Kundalini, energetic, initiative work, and I love it, but asked a lot of my little body, and my body is in process of recalibrating, and God, it's working so hard, and I'm so grateful. But definitely leaves me a little spinny. It's Wednesday, and I still haven't quite recovered from Sunday night. Focus. I got you. Here I am. We are in this Hangman world month. We are finishing up the Hermit year. And from what I gather from the week ahead, we're going to be swimming in deeper waters than maybe we are comfortable with, maybe than we've chosen, maybe than we know what to do with. The last week, this Page of Wands, it did light a fire. It lit a fire in you. It lit a fire in your life, in your heart, in your sense of desire, sense of what you want. And I hope that felt good. I hope it felt orienting and vitality. I hope you felt a surge of energy, maybe even pleasure. I hope all of that feels really good and supportive. And I hope you have the space to shepherd or care for that light, that flame, and let it become what it's meant to become. The card I pulled for us this week is such different energy. So we're going right from this Page of Wands of like, hey, that looks sexy. I'm into it. That feels good. And I'm going to play with that. I'm going to experiment with that, to the King of Cups, which is just mastery over the deepest waters. The King of Cups is a little uncomfortable in this realm. So the king energy, the clarity of the king, the dominance, the domain building, the responsibility of the king gets a little overwhelmed by the depths of the ocean upon which he floats. So I pulled actually this from the Mother Piece deck, and let's use that one because the Mother Piece deck gives us the Shaman of Cups, which is a little different, right? That's someone who's working with the energy. He's still trying to navigate something that is a little bit, it's out of his depths is one of the ways to say it, but it's also like working with a material that is a little bit foreign to him. So kings can be interpreted as earth energy, or they can be interpreted as fire energy. But in either case, water has its way with both. And so there's this sense of natural respect for the element at play and a recognition that this is not my home field. That's like the best way to say King of Cups energy. So if you think about it, whatever your sign is, I'm Scorpio, Taurus, Gemini. Actually, I have a very balanced chart. Let's focus, Kirsten. Fuck. You guys, I don't even know what's happening. I have a lot of water in my chart. So you could say that water is my home field. We're talking emotions. Let's get it. Like, I love to feel it. I can't help but feel it. It's part of my natural language, natural fluency. Where I might feel a little less facile or a little less fluent would be, I'm going to say fire energy. Even though I have Sag in my Venus and that feels comfortable, generally the fire signs feel a little bit distant to me. They feel a little bit unpredictable to me. So pick your poison. If you relate to being an earth sign or a water sign or an air sign or a fire sign, what is the material that, it's not that you can't do it, you can do anything, you're amazing, but what would be the away team? Like, where would you not have home court advantage? That is the best way to describe the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is recognizing the depth and the power of the water, mesmerized by it, fascinated by it, aches actually to dive into it, really has this yearning to go deeper, to explore. There's something here definitely that has some whale medicine to it, some whale energy to it. But again, not even fear, but healthy respect for how deep it can get. how emotionally alive the world can be, how emotionally alive people can be, how emotionally alive our hearts, our like constellation of humanity can be. And so the King of Cups comes up because we're being asked to hold steady in the storm. We're being asked to just have a sense that we can endure, we can go a little deeper than maybe we're comfortable with. We can survive a little bit of a weeble wobble on the original Rider-Waite deck. If you have that deck handy, he's on this like stone platform in the ocean and it's not quite even. And there's a lot of action around him. And he's good. He's like holding his own. But you can tell he's like, how deep are we? How much longer are we going to be here on the ocean? There's just this little bit of discomfort. So for this week ahead, it tells me that there's going to be some emotional depth revealed that you are going to both dig, like you're going to be interested and excited, and also a little cautious around, a little nervous around, a little uncertain. Again, healthy respect for. And I don't know, my dad, when he was teaching me, I really learned to swim in the ocean in Maine. That was my home ocean and out east on Long Island. So the Atlantic, but not the most friendly, relaxing parts of the Atlantic. And he always taught me, you never turn your back to the ocean. You have a healthy respect for the ocean. Where I grew up, there were crazy riptides and they could come out of nowhere. You could be minding your business, having a great day, and all of a sudden, whoosh, you're 100 yards out to sea. So you want to be thoughtful about that. And I'm sure you've heard that too. If anyone ever taught you to swim by the ocean, you just don't turn your back to the ocean. You respect the fact that that is a big, powerful force and you are but a speck in it. And that energy is just here with the King of Cups. And I don't know why it's making me laugh. I think I'm just high on Jaguar medicine. Or maybe I should, you know what? I'll tell you why it's making me laugh, actually. It's making me laugh because I should have more healthy respect for Jag medicine. Like I went into it feeling really good and really alive, and it took me down, and I am in awe of that. I have a very healthy respect for that, and I actually always did. But even with that perspective, even with that reverence, it still came at me in a way that surprised me. And I would say the same thing for the South direction when I worked with Sachamama, snake medicine. I thought I knew what was happening because I have been through the medicine wheel before. But the second time through the medicine wheel is not the first time through the medicine wheel. And there's a reason why they say you have to walk it 3 times before you can even consider teaching, because you are not walking the same path, my friend, which should seem like the most basic lesson of life. But sometimes you have to experience it to realize the truth of it. Let's just draw the parallel. You have a healthy respect for the emotional depths. You know you don't have home field advantage here on some dimension. Wherever this emotional depth is lighting up your life, you're not quite in control. You have to maintain some kind of control. You have to maintain some kind of structure, some kind of accountability, some kind of presence within, some kind of consciousness within. You're not the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups she's just going to swim with the whale. She just goes deep. And she's in it to pull treasure, in it to find little nugget stone shells, but she's water on water. So she doesn't have to hold the form that the king has. There's a reason why we didn't get the Queen of Cups, right? The king needs to hold some kind of shape and structure. He can't abandon his role as king, his essential kingness. He can't abandon that. And he's being taken into a depth that he hasn't quite swam in before, is again not familiar territory. And so that's the tension. There's a part of him that's, I don't know about this. And there's a part of him that's like, I really want to go surfing. And so it's this like push-pull or diving or whatever the metaphorical water activity is that you're interested in doing. But there's something about the submergence that is both calling to him, sirening to him, and then his essential kingness is saying, I want to go there, but I need to maintain my clarity. I need to maintain my sovereignty. There you go, king. And I'm like giggling and thinking about me with Jag medicine because it's the same thing. I can have a healthy respect for. I can understand that I don't quite understand. I can go in with my clarity, my stability, my sovereignty. And the ocean can still have its way with you. You can follow the rules, right? You can not turn your back to the ocean. You can pay attention to what's happening with the currents. You can know the geography, right? And this is in the best scenario. And the ocean can still surprise you. anyone who spent time in the ocean knows the ocean can, like jag medicine, F you up, like fuck you up. We all know that's possible. And so, especially when you're headed into oceans or seas or depths that you haven't navigated before. Okay, so I say that because it's a little bit like, just watch it. Your job is to stay with your sovereignty, to stay with your clarity, to hold on to your kingness, your mastery, whatever elements you do feel at home in. And if you're a water person, this might be a little bit easier. You might be willing to go deeper. You might be willing to go to a slightly more precarious terrain. You might be a little more courageous out on the water. And if you're a fire sign or an air sign, you might not feel quite there, and that's all right. So whatever our home base is, we want to trust ourselves, trust what we've cultivated, who we are. And we want to know that the depth is calling to us for a reason. So it's not like it's calling for us just to mess with us. It's calling to us because it wants to reveal something, show something. And my instinct is crack something open. I have this sensation in my chest that there's something I'm both yearning for and cautious about. And I'm in this middle place. And it might be that page of wands, like whatever lit up in your field and your body and your heart. Ooh. And then all of a sudden it went from like a spark of desire or passion or excitement to something much deeper. God, this is really paralleling my Jag journey. Went to something much deeper. And so now you find yourself, I'm still me. I'm still clear. I'm still sovereign. But I'm in deeper waters than I was maybe prepared for. And I'm not on my home beach. I'm in a different terrain altogether. The energy, it feels like a win. And it actually feels like an invitation to a deeper surrender. And so while the presentation, the experience might be a little like, I'm a little nervous, it doesn't feel scary. It feels, again, like respect for and desire for at the same time. And so I'm in this balancing place. And if I'm willing to stay with it, again, you don't need to dive in. You don't need to, the whale's with you. She can do the deep diving for you. But I'm going to practice staying in my sovereignty and also riding or swimming or experiencing the depths. The surrender and the ability to hold both those things at the same time, even the gesture, even the practice of holding both, even if we don't nail it, right? If we don't like master it today, the practice of holding both those things, it's actually going to offer us a great release, like a great unburdening. There's some way in which this sovereignty, yes, this willingness to go outside your comfort zone, that's where the hesitation's been, especially again in emotional way, in a watery way, in a depths way, in a fluidity way. And there's something about your willingness to say yes to that, or even just the awareness of realizing you're there, that allows you to surrender, uncomfortable, and on the other side of that, unburdened. It's the best way I can say it. And it's all about protecting your sovereignty and risking your comfort at the same time. And then what that does is it actually helps down, like you don't realize how much, for some reason, that maybe you've been resisting the water. And like I said, water has its way with earth. It has its way with fire. There's not a lot that water isn't going to, sorry, we love the water signs around here. There's not a lot that water is not going to dominate given enough time. And so maybe it's more like a dam energy. And so you're like, I'm sovereign, but I'm here on dry land. And then the water is getting higher and higher in the dam. And so at some point, the dam's going to break. If you're not going to go to the water's going to come to you. And you're supposed to go to the water. You're supposed to be in the water. So when either the dam breaks, poor friend, or you go to the water, either way, there's going to be a great relief of like, at least I'm here. At least I'm experiencing it. It might be hard. It might be challenging. I might be, again, out of my depths, but at least I'm not fighting that water anymore. Because there's just a weight to it. There's a weight and a gravity and a gravitas to the water. And a call, like a song that's coming from the water that it's undeniable, dude. You can't fight the sirens. And this came up in Jag medicine, but at one point in the weekend I said I felt like Odysseus tied to the mast, like thrashing to get free, to head to the place that I was going to go no matter what. Like, you weren't going to stop me. There's something like that with this energy. The King of Cups is on this little raft. He's moving through the water. He's in deeper waters than he's used to. He has the power. He has to trust himself. He has the power to maintain his sovereignty and to explore a different aspect of the ocean than he's explored before. And in doing so, he's going to release this feeling of resisting that inevitable exploration. That's the best way I can say it. And then you add the Shaman of Cups, the shaman aspect of it. What would I say about that? I would say the shaman just has a little more facility with energy than the king. The king's, he's a little tight. The shaman's a little more fluid. So the Shaman of Cups is going to add a little bit more fluidity to it and actually add a little bit of fire. He's going to kind of cook with the water. He's going to cook a little bit. Hot springs. Think of hot springs. It's going to be that kind of energy. But a deep hot springs. You can't see the bottom. No sandy bottom. That's a joke for the shaman friend. But no sandy bottom, just a sense of the alchemy of fire and water. Yeah, I think those are the two elements that are here with us, fire and water. So whatever those mean to you. I love a good hot spring, but not everyone feels that way. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Find yourself in deeper waters. Remember who you are. You can handle it. And then also get a little bit uncomfortable this week ahead. You won't be sorry. There's something about the larger discomfort is the discomfort of resisting the water. The water's coming. You cannot resist the water. You might resist it for a little while, but just don't, because there's something about these depths that's going to feel, much better. I feel much better now. It's much easier to move. I'm more fluid. I'm more free because I was willing to sit with the discomfort of this deeper call from the ocean. All right, cool. That's what I got for you. Wish me luck in recovery. I love you guys. Bye.